Kai is being asked right now, you think you can beat Phil?
Yes.
He's gotten asked that question probably 1,000 times this weekend. It's going to piss him off.
Yeah.
He's going to say, the hell with Phil, I'm going to win. Fuck him.
Yeah.
I'm going to beat his ass. And everybody's going to be like, yeah, go, kill him. And then they'll be the same guys in here probably like, yeah, Phil, go kill Kai. So it's almost like they're probably putting us against each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
the Generation Iron do that though.
for the fans?
Yes.
Yes. Guaranteed. Because,
yeah.
Hold on. This guy here never said anything about my physique. He never did in that movie. He just said what? He's got gifts. My Santa Claus? You know what I mean? I work hard just like how you work hard. I just don't talk about it all the time because essentially there's a doctor tell everybody, man, I studied hard, I worked hard. No, I mean, you're a damn doctor, man. Of course you worked hard to get to where you're at. I mean, it's silly to me. I shouldn't have to earn your respect by telling you, man, I trained hard, man. It's like, you won Mr. Olympia 3 times. There's like 12 other people in your something that have climbed that mountain. Of course you worked hard. My job is to try to make you understand that I can do it with a smile on my face. I take life's challenges very seriously, but I do it with a smile on my face. Because I live in the fear of the world and say, because the world's a very crazy place, right? There's no time to be lazy, there's no time to be complaining. I don't complain, I just look at it like, I'm gonna kick the world's ass because the world will kill you. That's how I look at it. That's just how I am. So I'm just more laid back. That's just my personality. I can't change it. I mean, God made me that way. It's just the way it is. I'm just glad that I can, essentially, I'm more thankful, and I'll probably say this again before I leave, I'm more thankful that my fans allow me to be this way. Allow me to be who I am.
Fine. Thanks, man.
Once Kai's given up trying to beat, who do you think's going to be there trying to take the title?
Oh.
Who's the next up and coming guy?
Well, Big Manny just won the New York Pro last night, right?
Right. So I've got nothing but hate mail since last year about him. He's gonna kick your ass on stage, he's gonna beat you, he's gonna do this, do that. The greatest thing about my career is that I'm able to read all that stuff and have a sense of humor with it. See? Anytime when you're being compared to an up-and-coming guy, that's a good thing. They're not comparing Randy to Kai, right? They're not comparing Randy against who, right? Comparing him against who? Me. If I consider to be the best. See, that's where the funny part is, right? Is that someone will be like, Kai's better than you and this and that. You're not comparing the other guy to him. Comparing it to me. So I am very thankful about stuff like that. Dennis Wolf did amazing earlier this year. I was at the Arnold Classic with great. People forget that. That's where the fan thing is. For me, I look at it from a different lens. I remember being on stage next to Dennis Wolf and then looking at that show, I was like, man, I'm glad I came in shape because this dude looked amazing. And I was looking at Kai like, man, you're gonna have your hands full with this dude because he's dangerous too. Fans really, we're real quick to be like, all right, I'm on this team. And then, screw that, I'm over here. Dennis Wolf, Kai, Big Randy, those guys, Sean Rowe too. That's the hard part, right? There's always a new guy, there's always different permutations of different scenarios of who can be who. You can't really be concerned about a second place guy, I can't really care about that. Because when you're focused on this goal, there's no looking back. So I can't really care about it. I mean, I like the guys, even Kai, I like them. I can't care about it like that. I don't give a damn. I gotta worry about these rates. They hold me accountable. They hold me accountable for my actions. That's it.
Cool. Any questions? This side, and then I'll come back to you, big guy. Oh, we're gonna have wheels in this place next year. So,
earlier on, we were listening to Jay Butler. He was saying with his weights and what he's doing, he's trying to just keep it light, keep it easy, trying not to really push it too heavy. When you're training now, are you still going forward with big heavy weights, big heavy sets?
I think Jay's transitioning into a different phase of his career. You know what I mean? So for me, what I'm really trying to do at this point in time in my career is really just sticking with what worked. You know, we have a pre-contest schedule and we have an off-season schedule with training, diet, supplementation, all that stuff. What I try to do during those off-season months, weeks, days, is to figure out what doesn't work for me. And then so when I get ready for the show, I know exactly how I need to train. So I'll go through a periodization phase of where I'm doing like 10 reps at 8 to 64. You know, sometimes I'll do a sets of just 10, sometimes sets of just 5, whatever it may be. I'm trying all these different things to see how my body responds to pictures that I don't post on Facebook, like this stuff, because I don't post it. But you know, and then collectively you try to match that up with how I'm eating, how I'm feeling, and how I'm looking, and then say, okay, this is what I can do. So, you know, for this season, I mean, I kind of have an idea of the rep ranges that I want to do based on what I've done previously over the last few months. Body's responding really well. I'm very happy, but I'm not content, obviously. And the good thing is that you always have to have a willingness to learn about yourself. I still read Flex Magazine on fitness, muscle development about other athletes, right? I still do because I'm a fan of the sport, right? I ain't gonna lie. Guy might be pissed. He should be pissed. I was reading about his hamstring workout not too long ago. And I was like, wow, I might actually try this. Hey, thanks, bro. Appreciate it. You know what I mean? But for real, because you know he's probably putting out some valuable information. I'm like, hey, let me try this. Oh man, yeah, I got that, right? I'm one of those guys that like I always have a willingness to learn. Just because I'm Mr. Olympia doesn't mean I can't change, can't evolve. And like I said, you have to really do that.
What's up, what? I feel, I've been training a long time. You probably all remember I met in Wellington about 3 years before you won the Olympia.
Oh, Gary Cage's show, yeah.
Yeah, I told you that writing was on the wall and you were going to win, which is a matter of time. And I've seen a lot of the changes over the years, and this is the change I'm seeing now. You know, the beach physiques come in big time. I call it bikini for men. I think it's
the Vince physiques.
Yeah, do you think it's taking over bodybuilding? Because I went to the show in Wellington a couple of weeks ago and it just swamped the show. You know, the bodybuilding was terrible, the standard, but the beach physiques were just 50, 60 strong and they were just swamping it. What's your take on it?
I think you're gonna piss off a lot of people. But you're a pretty big dude, so But being serious, I mean, I'm not gonna create a divide. I'm not gonna create a divide between the two divisions. Why? Because some people want to choose product A and some people want to choose product B. I think more guys are doing that because I hate to say it, but it's probably a little bit more attainable. Okay? But essentially and eventually, those same guys, if they continue to get bigger, will be competing in bodybuilding. They will. Just watch. It's going to happen. I've already seen guys that I put on a show in Houston, Texas, the Philly Classic. We had a lot of men's physique competitors. Some of the guys were like, hey, how do I look? And they go, man, you're probably like a burger away from being in bodybuilding. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have a hard time keeping it, you know, especially if they're young. They're going to have a hard time just keeping it that way. Why? Because we all want to get bigger. And they're going to see another men's physique guy that maybe has a bigger chest than them, bigger shoulders, whatever, bigger calves or whatever. And they're going to want to outdo that person. So eventually their body will evolve. But, you know, Joe Weider, when I would talk to him, I mean, he just wanted people to be healthy. You know, and I'm glad that there's different divisions. But, of course, I'm going to always rate bodybuilding the best, the most. I think my division has a great place, you know, to see some amazing physiques. But I can't hate on the men's physique dudes. I mean, they have their own thing. It is kind of interesting, though. I will make one little joke that I've seen a guy put on eyeliner and stuff. I thought it was kind of funny because I've never seen a bodybuilder do that. And, you know, and I ain't got no hair, so I wouldn't do good in men's physique. But you know what? I tell Jay, it's like a joke. It's like maybe we should retire and do like an over 50 class for men's physique and see who's better. Because you know, I could trim down at some point, and I'd like to always be in shape. I would probably want like one of those guys when I'm retired. Because there's no way I'm going to be able to hold on to this size, at a certain time. But,
well, you and Mark Anthony are both signed to colors there. Is that still live? No, but Mark Anthony's with Cutler Athletics, and you're obviously a friend with Jay.
Oh, yeah.
So he's obviously have a tight sort of circle.
Yeah, I'm cool with Mark. I got no problems with him as long as he remembers that Mr. Olympia is Mr. Olympia. Just saying, it's a joke between the two of us. It's like your physique. That's cool. He does a great job. What's crazy about his sport is that because of it being judged without the legs, really, man. For guys, he has a lot of people coming after him more than I do. So he really has a lot of pressure. He has a lot of pressure. I personally don't know how the hell you judge it. It's very, very difficult. Whereas bodybuilders say, well, the body doesn't flow this way, it doesn't have a back, it doesn't have a condition, training glutes or hamstrings, calves, whatever. It's just different. I don't know, but all the best of those guys, they got a place in their sport, and keep going.
Got any more questions? There was one somewhere there at the back of the same gym.
In your off season, is Hade as strict with your diet and training as you are when you're coming up to the Olympia?
The answer is no, because he and I have a great relationship where he kind of trusts me as a client to know that I'm not going to go too far off the reservation, you know what I mean? He will text me every now and again and be like, yeah, one of your friends told me you're out having cakes and pies and beer and this and that, you need to shake this up. And I'm like, all right, go screw yourself, and I'm going to do what I want. And we actually argue like that. We're like little kids, you argue with your brother, you fight him, this and that. But he does recognize the fact that when it's time to ride, it is time to ride. I won't even have a cheat meal this Olympic prep. There's no way, man. I barely ever do it. He has full confidence in me to do my job because I've always remained to be coachable. But yeah, even for myself now, if there's something I really want to do during my off season, I do it because I believe in having balance. This is how I am. I'm not going to overstress myself mentally and emotionally, thinking that if I have a cheeseburger, I'm going to lose. I've been having cheeseburgers every day I'm here and I ain't lost. So it's like, for my mind, I allow myself to have those. I just don't do it all the time.
Any other questions? There was one in the middle, I think, at the front there. I think I'm going to. You can still open more.
Hi Phil, just wondering what you enjoy most about bodybuilding? Good question.
The transformation, the evolution, the way that I can look at a picture 10 years ago, 11 years ago. I started bodybuilding October 8th, 2002. I had no idea that I would look like this today. I've been taking photos actually from that day pretty much every week, every other week for the past 11 years. And I love the fact that I can control how I look and also how I feel. And I enjoy the challenge with it because every time I get ready for the Olympia, I'm dealing with a lot of different stresses in the world and this and that. And I'm trying to hone in on some strengths and weaknesses and actually scope things the way I envision. And there's some guesswork, but it's just, the journey itself is just something else, man. You learn a lot about yourself when you compete. Anyone that's competed, you kind of understand what I mean by that. And I enjoy it because it always changes every year. Every year I go through something different personally or emotionally or whatever. And I always try to figure out, how can I stay focused? How can I do that? And half the time I say, well, you're preaching this gospel to everybody else. You need to take your own advice and make it happen. The coolest thing about bodybuilding, man, is that I know I'm doing something that a very small percentage of the world can do. A lot of people say they can do it. A lot of people root for other guys and this and that. But I'm doing it. I'm doing it at a very high level. And I love it, man. I really love it. And I love the industry. I love the ups and downs. I love the love, the hate, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I can embrace it all. I think that's what makes me me. And, obviously the fans is what make it. I think that's right now in my career.